Now, moving from one DC property to another, and not just any other DC property, but another hashtag too. We had Release the Snyder Cut and now Restore the Snyderverse, but there's also Release the Ayer Cut. And apparently, David Ayer is still holding on to hope that his original cut that he supposedly has of the Suicide Squad will finally release. In a new interview with EW, Ayer talks about why he still supports an Ayer cut of his superhero film and why he thinks WB should listen to the fans once again for Suicide Squad. For those not aware, after the release of Batman vs. Superman, WB became worried that the terrible critical response and middling box office might be a sign that fans were hoping for something a bit more fun and colorful in their superhero films. So this seemingly affected the final cut of David Ayer's film, Suicide Squad. From reports by the director's own admission, WB looked at Ayer's final cut of the film and decided to bring in a trailer cutting company to do a final edit on Suicide Squad. What was then released to fans is a pop music-filled, neon-colored, quippy mess that made a lot of money, but got some of the worst reviews of all of the DC films, except for Justice League. Now, with a seemingly successful Zack Snyder's Justice League, David Ayer thinks WB could please the fans by allowing him to release his original version of the film, which he admits is a darker drama than what was released in theaters, and no, he doesn't think it'll take away from James Gunn's upcoming rebootquel, that's what they're calling it, a rebootquel, The Suicide Squad. I think the studios see now that there can be canon, there can be non-canon. The fans just want to touch it, Ayer said. They love the characters, they just want to spend more time with it. And people are way more sophisticated about how movies are made and want to be participants in the journey. There's room for different things, different versions, different assets being shared with the audience. I think it just helps strengthen the community. But absolute credit to Warner Brothers for supporting Zack and having the courage to explore that. He added, I get it, it's a business, it's frustrating because I made a really heartfelt drama and it got ripped to pieces and they tried to turn it into Deadpool, which it just wasn't supposed to be. And then you take the hit, you're the captain of the ship, my name was on it. Even though it didn't represent what I actually made, I would take all the bullets and be a good soldier. I made an amazing movie. It's an amazing movie. It just scared the shit out of executives. Of course, it doesn't appear that WB is going to give Ayer the power to release his version of the film because CEO Ann Sarnoff quashed any hope of the Ayer cut of Suicide Squad coming to HBO Max by simply saying, we won't be developing the Ayer cut. But hey, as the Snyder Cut fans will say time and time again, WB was pretty dead set on not releasing Zack Snyder's Justice League, but the studio eventually relented. I don't see a problem. Well, why not just put it out? It's already done. And this is a bit of a somewhat of a different situation than Zack Snyder's Justice League. Zack Snyder's Justice League wasn't complete. It was not done. My understanding is he has a cut of this film. It is done. He has it on a laptop, like his final edit of it. I'm assuming special effects, all that are done. I don't know, but I've been led to believe, in what I've read over the years, that this movie is done. There's a cut done, just like copy and paste. You don't have to put any extra money into it, except for maybe marketing. Which, what could it hurt? Put it out there. If they were going to continue on with this universe, I could understand it, but they're not. They're getting away from this because this is part of the Snyderverse. They're getting away from that universe. Why not just release the damn thing? He's right. People want to see. People are aware of it. They just want to see it. They understand it's not canon. Just put it out there. Put it out there. Put a thing at the very beginning saying this is not, canon. This is not representative of the. Even if you want to be like, it's not representative of the final version that's out there or whatever. That would be the 2016 version. Whatever. Just let us see it. What does it matter? I mean, at least you'll get people to shut up. I mean, David Ayer, he's If you'd asked me before last year's The Tax Collector, I would have said he's kind of 50-50 with me. I haven't hated anything he's had because his movies have kind of been like this with, he's made some great ones like Fury, but then he also made The Suicide Squad. But, he claimed that wasn't, he made that movie, but that was not the version we got. And as we saw through the Snyder Cut and many other films, movies come together in the editing room. You can totally change a movie's tone, just everything in the editing bay. So according to him, that's what happened here. So just let him release it. Just put it out there. It's free money for you. You would gain at least some subscribers by just throwing it on just throw what he's got onto HBO Max, put a disclaimer at the beginning, and be done with it. I don't get why not. I don't think anybody's going to be confused and think, oh, that's the one. I think when most people see director's cut or whatever you want to call, they understand that this is an extra special version of it. This isn't necessarily the one that represents, if you're in a universe, where that universe is going. Fuck it. They have already said that they are done with the Snyderverse. They're not doing any more of them. What is it going to hurt? Especially if the fucking movie's done. I really don't get that because, like I said, he claims to have this film. He has it like on a laptop is what he said. Put it out there. I don't get why they want. It sounds like when it comes to anything Snyderverse, which is what we're calling it now, I guess, some of the people at WB are just like hard-nosed. They're just like against it 100%. They refuse to release anything, refuse to give it anything at all. The Snyder Cut thing was just because it was like an overwhelming outcry for it. And yeah, they gave it a lot of money, but you ain't got to give this guy money. You just say, here you go. I mean, there might be a little bit of money that goes into it, but not like $70 million like they did with the Snyder Cut. I would get that. If he was saying, oh, I need, $50, $60, $70 million to finish it, yeah, I could get them being like, no, not for Suicide Squad, no. I mean, the only other thing I could see is maybe possibly having confusion with the Suicide Squad that James Gunn's making right now that comes out later this year. Why not just go ahead and put it out now? Just put a big thing at the beginning explaining, basically the situation. And I don't think people will be too confused about it. I mean, that's the only thing I could see why they wouldn't want to release this thing, because there's another movie that they're doing called The Suicide Squad with some of the same characters. At least Harley Quinn's in it. I don't know if... and Captain Boomerang or whatever his name is, he's in it. Jai Courtney. But everybody else it's all new characters and stuff. So just, put it out there with a disclaimer in the beginning. Why the hell not? You're looking at free money, or at least free subscriptions, which is money, and that's what you guys are after. This just seems kind of dumb to me. I do, because if nothing else, I want to see what he's got. He's been proclaiming for all this time, kind of like the guy who made Fantastic Four in 2015. He claims he's got a much better cut out there, and it was they butchered his film. Let these people release these movies on these streaming services. I mean, it's out there. It's common knowledge that supposedly these other cuts exist. Let them release them, and then see if the fans say, oh, no, that sucks. That still sucks. It's bad, or it's worse, or it's, that doesn't really do anything. No movement. Just let them do it. And if you have that much faith in your decisions, which it was the studio's decisions to cut these things on both these films, you should have, that kind of, you should believe in your decision even after making it, and you made the decision to make these cuts to these movies. Stand by those decisions. Put the other one out there and say, see, it's not better. Our idea was better. But I think that that's part of it too. I think they're scared that people will like it more, and that's going to kind of put a spotlight on them that, hey, you fucked up with Justice League, you fucked up with Suicide Squad, and it's not the same company, but like with something like with Fantastic Four, you fucked up with that. People are going to start pointing the finger at studios a lot more, saying, man, you guys just get your noses out of it, let the creative people do their thing, and be creative.
Thanks for checking out this clip from the Jarcast Movie Podcast. If you like this and want more, then check out the Jacob Anders Review YouTube channel, where you can also find movie reviews every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. You can also listen to the entire podcast on all major podcasting platforms such as Spotify, Google, and iTunes. So if you prefer audio, whichever one is your preferred, check it out there. Once again, I really appreciate it, and thanks for watching. And as always, stay sexy, YouTube.